Labour's priorities, pensioners or migrants, which ones do you think they favour most?
Well, it's clearly not pensioners. People that have been here their whole lives, paid in, need to be looked after. Yet you come across on a dinghy, you get fed 3 times a day, a nice warm bed this winter, no worries. What a world we're living in. What a country, Dawn.
Indeed.
Well, if you own a farm or land, you have an additional £1 million inheritance tax than anyone else does. So already they have additional land that they can pass on without paying any inheritance tax.
Yep. Jeremy Clarkson's outrage is no small matter, and after Rachel Reeves' new budget, Jerry has spoke out. He said, "Rachel Reeves, I literally dar comment." Simone responded to Jeremy, saying, "As an American, I'd like to say, huh, Jeremy?" Then responded back, saying, "We have a new government. It's turning out to be hopeless."
Even after our changes. And after that next £1 million, there is a 50% discount on inheritance tax compared to what everybody else will pay. And you can pay that inheritance tax over a 10-year period in a way that no one else is able to. So I think we've got the right balance there. We did need to raise taxes to fill the black hole, to put our public finances on a stable footing. We did that yesterday, and people can now be confident that we will be able to live within our means.
His frustration is directed squarely at Keir Starmer and Rachel Reeves' recent budget changes, which he feels are an unfair blow to British farmers and the working class. Clarkson, who has spent the past few years developing his own farm, has turned this experience into the focus of his popular series Clarkson's Farm. The show has done so well that it's now moving into its 4th season. But what is it about farming that has turned Clarkson's attention from entertainment to advocacy? Through Clarkson's Farm, audiences are given a rare, often humorous yet honest look at the real-life struggles that come with farming. Beyond the laughs, Clarkson has come to understand the weight of responsibility farmers carry.
So your popularity has collapsed more significantly after winning an election than any other prime minister in modern history. Is that because you essentially misled the country during the election and you've raised taxes in a way that no one was expecting or voted for?
I came into politics relatively late in life, having done other things. I came in with one purpose only, and that is to change lives for the better. We made key choices yesterday in relation to the future of our country.
But choices that weren't in your manifesto. There was no suggestion of £14 billion of tax rises in that manifesto, Prime Minister.
We inherited a very badly damaged economy. We audited the books and found £22 billion missing. We've had to do the responsible thing, which is to stabilise the economy, to make sure we're putting the investment in for the future. That's what matters to me. And the outcomes are what matters. 40,000 extra appointments each and every week to bring the waiting list down. Making sure we've got the right teachers in the right numbers in our schools so every child can go as far as their talents will take them. And making sure that we've got houses that are affordable for everybody across the country. That's what I came into politics to do.
Could this new budget really be a threat to farmers like him? For Clarkson, it's now a personal battle, a fight for the people he stands with, and his anger over the budget changes feels very real and heartfelt. One of the most troubling aspects of the new budget for Clarkson and many others in the farming community is the change in inheritance tax. Rachel Reeves announced that family farms worth more than £1 million would no longer be exempt from inheritance tax when passed down to family members. Previously, agricultural property relief allowed these farms to avoid such taxes, making it easier for families to continue the farming legacy across generations. This tax relief wasn't just a small benefit, it was a lifeline that allowed family farms to stay within families without the crushing financial burden of inheritance tax. The policy aimed to protect family-run farms, which are the backbone of British agriculture. By taking away this relief, Labour has introduced a serious financial hurdle that many small and medium-sized farms will struggle to overcome. For Clarkson, this isn't just a matter of policy, it's an attack on the very people who work hard to put food on the nation's tables. To him, it seems like a direct disregard for the importance of family farms in the agricultural landscape. Clarkson's frustration is compounded by the fact that Keir Starmer has repeatedly promised in public that he would not increase taxes. On multiple occasions, Starmer appeared on live television and assured viewers that Labour's policies would not involve tax hikes that would hurt ordinary citizens. Yet, with this budget, Clarkson argues that Starmer has gone back on his word. The new inheritance tax feels like a direct contradiction of these promises, and to Clarkson, this move is not only unfair, but also dishonest. It's not just about the financial impact, it's about the trust that has been broken between Starmer and the public. People took Starmer's promises at face value, believing in his vision for a fairer Britain. Now, Clarkson and many others feel that they were misled, leaving them frustrated and disillusioned with a leader who seemed so determined to keep his word. For Clarkson, this isn't just another political issue, it's deeply personal. Since he started his farm, he's come to understand the hardships that farmers face daily. He has learned how much work, dedication, and resilience it takes to make a living from the land.
The OBR, for the first time today, are looking at a longer-term horizon. That's really welcome. And they say
Well,
that
lots of people will be dead by the time
No,
that comes through. What we want to know is in the course of this Parliament.
No, Robert, I think this is really important because there's often criticism of governments that they make short-term decisions reflecting the lifetime of a Parliament rather than the long-term decisions to put our country on a better path. And what the OBR say is that the long-term impact of the decisions we've made today, particularly on investment, will boost GDP by 1.4%. That's really welcome.
But they also say it's a bit of a sugar rush, that you're going to get growth in the short term, but then it's going to slow down. So that must be a concern.
And then it increases.
No, but I'm talking about it must be a disappointment that by the end of the Parliament, growth, the size of the economy, will be no greater.
Well, the growth forecasts today are certainly not the summit of my ambition. This is the first budget in this Parliament. Have we got more to do? Absolutely.
Even though Clarkson is a multi-millionaire, he has experienced the struggles of farming on a personal level, giving him a newfound respect for those who've been doing it for generations. To Clarkson, this is about standing up for the working class, the people who work tirelessly to make an honest living. He now feels connected to their struggles, and as someone who is both a successful TV personality and a farmer, he's in a unique position to voice these concerns on their behalf. His wealth hasn't separated him from the real issues that farmers face. Instead, his farm has brought him closer to understanding the significance of policies that impact working people. As if Clarkson's own words weren't enough, there is also growing frustration among news reporters and media outlets regarding Keir Starmer's leadership. Many journalists who were initially hopeful about Starmer's vision are now expressing disappointment over what they see as a series of unfulfilled promises.
Of the decisions we've made today, particularly on investment, will boost GDP by 1.4%. That's really welcome.
But they also say it's a bit of a sugar rush, that you're going to get growth in the short term, but then it's going to slow down. So that must be a concern.
And then it increases.
No, but I'm talking about it must be a disappointment that by the end of the Parliament, growth, the size of the economy, will be no greater.
Well, the growth forecasts today are certainly not the summit of my ambition. This is the first budget in this Parliament. Have we got more to do? Absolutely.
That is our choice. Stability to prevent chaos. Borrowing will drive long-term growth. Tax rises to prevent austerity and rebuild public services. We choose to protect working. We choose to get the NHS back on its feet. We choose to fix the foundation, reject decline, and rebuild our country with investment.